Good afternoon, and today we are going to look at the Thurisaz Rune. This is the symbol. I'll just turn it up. So this is a symbol that you'll see on a rune. Very much looks like a thorn, and that's what it's known as. Thorn or Thor's hammer, which we've talked about Thor's hammer before. This is the third rune in the first Aett. Which is, we've also talked before, is governed by the god and goddess Freya, and the aspects that it brings to the first Aett. Some people refer to this as the thorn, depending on which country you're in. Some people will refer to it as Thor's hammer. Some people will refer to it as giant. So this is a giant strength, a giant power. I refer to it as Thor's hammer, or it is the rune of Thor, who is the god of thunder, and it represents very powerful strength and resistance. So with this, wielding that Thor's hammer comes the ability to find the thin line between chaos and order, and this is what this rune actually brings up: chaos and order. And so we have talked about how this is the third rune. The first rune for you is like a pyramidal soup. The second rune, Uruz, brings structure and form. This, through chaos and order, actually brings knowledge into the person, who can then gain consciousness. So this is what the card looks like, and you can see here you've got Thor, this great giant with his hammer, fighting these serpents. It is about giant power and the power to defend. And so why people get so freaked out about this rune is, as we've talked before with Thor's hammer, it's the ability to be able to cause great destruction or great blessing. So it's that thin line of chaos and order. If people are not balanced in their consciousness, in the way that they interact, then the knowledge that they can gain can be used to harm people. And this is where people get a bit freaked out about how powerful this rune is. It does predict misfortunes, bad news, conflict, anger, aggression. So quite full on, quite fiery rune. But it is also a rune of protection. And it protects against, once you learn how to yield the power of it, against those chaotic forces that turn up rather by surprise, out of control. There's nothing that you can do to predict or to prevent chaotic moments coming into your life, because it is part of life. So the positives with the rune, it has got that fire nature. There's drive, self-confidence will come into play if you get this in a reading. This is about clearing a pathway. And by clearing a pathway, I mean coming in full ball if there's a mess, if there's a situation, and that could be argumentative, aggression. It is the power, or the person with the power, that comes in and just clears it out. So enough of this bullshit, boom, you're all gone. But with that clearing of the pathway for new beginnings and new starts and new awareness and new knowledge, there is always going to be, it's going to be painful. It's not going to be subtle. There will be pain that you have to put up with this. There will be sacrifice that will come with this rune. And I think that's why people fear it. But, you know, it's from chaos comes order, and also growth. So what you're actually looking at is sudden upheavals that will happen, energies that will come in and trigger people. They go into defense mode. So if this comes in the reverse, It often means people on the defence, and people that are not confident in their own abilities, they're not confident in their own decisions, they're not confident of dealing with conflict or aggression, and they will go on the defence, they will put blame on other people, they will reflect it so it's away from them. So as I said, it's about that the third rune starts working on the thin line between chaos and order, which is needed in life itself to bring knowledge and consciousness. The chaos part of this card comes in form of, as I said, surprise. It will come out of the blue. There will be no control. As I said, you can't predict it coming in. And I mean, it'd be like going out of your house feeling really, really good, and you leave your bag on the car and you drive off, and you've lost your money, and you've lost your purse, and you've lost your credit cards. All this chaos. Well, oh my God, what do I do next? Now I've got to phone the banks. Now I've got to do this. So it's that moment that just happens completely out of your control. But there is a reason that chaos is needed, because chaos is the moving force that stops stagnation in your life. Order, it's good to have order, and it's good to be able to move through chaos to get order. But then when you get into that order, into everything's in an order, this is what we do, it's like Groundhog Day. Oh, I get up here, I do this, I have lunch, I come home, I go to the gym, and it's the same thing over and over and over. There's no room for growth. So what chaos does is it comes in when you least expect it, blows everything way out of proportion, and then gives you a chance to get a hold of the chaos through your actions, through your knowledge, because every time it happens, you gain knowledge. You gain knowledge how to deal with a situation. So the next time it happens, you're more calmer. But that brings in an opportunity. It brings in a new spark for you to actually learn and grow from a new situation. And that's important because it stops life from becoming stagnant. So if you're living in a very stagnant life, you haven't found the balance between chaos and order. You are living in a totally ordered, which becomes totally controlled. You can't get out of that loop because that loop now controls you. And vice versa. You don't want to be living a life totally in chaos, because you would just have a mental breakdown. So it's finding that thin line between a chaotic moment or situation occurring in your life, how you respond to it. And you learn to respond to it through experience, through all these other occasions that happen, to find order. But you're not supposed to stay in that order. You're supposed to find growth and keep moving along. So chaos, the chaos side of this card is very much about movement, not being stagnant, moving along, finding growth, getting knowledge, gaining consciousness, which is the next step in evolution. So chaos will actually break down patterns that have become known and familiar. So as I said, you get into that routine of being ordered. It is a known and familiar and a comfort zone, and that is what chaos breaks. It will bring up threats and challenges. It will bring up threats and challenges within your life, all your life. There's no way of getting away from it. I challenge anyone to say they never have a chaos in their life, but it's how you react and respond to that chaos, how you bring order, but how you keep moving and don't fall into that trap of stagnation. And it's through gaining that knowledge of these situations that you're able to share that knowledge with others, to stop them going through those same patterns, to stop them going through what, like I said, these will be painful moments. So if you can share your knowledge on the experience that you've had, and you can see someone going through that same experience, then you're able to share that knowledge and stop them from going through such a painful and enabling them to thrive. So basically, Thurisaz, in the face of adversity, It really brings out or shows a person what their true character is, how they respond, how they handle it. You know, some people might put out a false character about themselves. Chaos will actually prove to you how they respond and act in that moment, what their true character is. Are they actually that character that they say, or are they actually going to completely fall apart? It's actually a test to your character, and that's the big thing I think you take away from Thurisaz. It tests your character. So if you're saying one thing and your character is saying another, this card is definitely going to come up and show others what your true character is. So you better be true to yourself, better be true to your knowledge, better be true to your consciousness. And that is Thurisaz. The next one we'll be doing is going back to for you number 1. Thanks a lot and see you later.